Hey guys, in this section I want to go over order management, and depending on the length of the time it takes to go over that, we may go into customer management in this video, or we may make a new video for customer management, because the two really they really run alongside each other. So they're two very important aspects of running any kind of e-shop. So we're in the back end of our PrestaShop store, our Lots of Gadgets store, and the first thing I want to point out is if you log in and there's been a new order, it'll pop up right here. Up here we have these three notification icons, and unfortunately I already clicked on them, so the numbers are gone. But initially, if you get a new order, you'll get a big red icon with the number of new orders. Same thing with customers. If new person registers at the site, it'll show here. And then we also have our messages from customers, which will show in red as well. So the first thing I want to do is go to the orders tab, and we want to click on orders. Now this will give us a list of all the orders that have been placed on the site, whether they're new or old. And we have a sample order here that comes with the default PrestaShop installation. And every order has an ID and a reference code. This will tell us if it's new or not, the customer name, the price, the payment method, the status, and the date that it was purchased. So let's click on this sample order, and we have a nice layout of all the information that we need to know about this order. We have the order number, the reference number or the reference code, and the user's name up here. And we can actually add new products to an order if we want. And then here we have the date the order was placed, up to the second. The messages we have about this order, if any, new customer messages, the products. Let's scroll down here. Alright, so we have the price, the total price of the order. And orders can have multiple products. This particular order has 2 products in it. And then over here we have no invoices or delivery slips for this particular order. And then we have this print order button. If we click that, we can print out everything that's on this page. Alright, so this here is probably the most important thing. This tells us the status of the order. In this particular order, and this customer decided to pay by check. That's the payment method they used. They didn't use PayPal or Authorize.net or any of the other payment systems that are set up. So when they purchase by check, the order goes on hold until we get the check. Okay, so until the store manager received the check in the mail. So once the once the shop actually received the check in the mail, they would click on this drop down and go to payment accepted and click add. So once we do that, the payment has now been accepted, and you can see it generated an invoice over here, and it also generated the payment. And we can actually view the invoice if we click on view invoice, or save it rather. So let's just save that and open that up. And here you can see a nice clean invoice with all the information we need. Every invoice has an unique number. We have the billing and delivery address here. We have each product. You can see this user purchased 2 products, which totaled $626. Okay, so the payment has been made, as it shows. If they paid by credit card, we could actually see the credit card number and all the information, the expiration date, but this user paid by a check. Shipping, this purchase was made before we set up our own shipping, so it's using my carrier. If you place an order on the site now after we set up the shipping, then it would have our standard method. And then we have the shipping address as well as the invoice address. Here we have the summary of what the order consisted of, and if the user had any messages, if they sent any messages to us, we could see them here. So everything's laid out really nicely, and you could just streamline your order management. So I really like the way that PrestaShop deals with this. Alright, so we still have quite a bit of time left in the video, so I will go over customer management as well. And it's similar to order management. If we highlight customers up here, we can see John Doe, which is our sample customer. We can see his name, his ID number, email address, age, if his account's enabled or not, the registration date, the last visit date, and that's just from the if we had more users, we'd see them. We'd see a nice table of users. And we can click on edit, and we can actually edit any information we need to we can change the group. This user is in the customer group. We could create a custom group ourselves and put them in that as well. So we could create a group, say special customers or VIP or something like that, and give them special discounts by the group. But we'll go over that in a later section. So if we click on the user's name, we then go to a similar layout. It's similar to the order layout. It has all the information that we need to know on a customer. It even has a rank number. So the customer's rank will be higher depending on how much they've spent or how much they ordered from us. We can add a private note. Let's just say this is a good customer, and this is just a private note for ourselves. This won't be shown anywhere else. Messages, if we had any support tickets, would show up here. We have his orders, carts in the carrier that was used, the products that he's purchased, address information, groups, and connections. We can see the user's IP address, which is just my local machine. Yeah, so there's just a lot of info we can view for the customer. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's go to addresses, and we can see each user by address, the actual street, the zip code, city, and if you click on the name, it's going to take us to the edit page that we saw earlier. You can edit if for some reason you need to, you can edit the user's address. Now groups. Let's actually just go over this now since it is related to customer management. By default, you have a visitor, a guest, and a customer. And visitor and guest are well, guest is for the users that come to the site that don't have an account and are not logged in. Visitor, I believe, is a group for people that have an account but haven't purchased anything, and then customer is the group for people that have purchased items. And we can see that John Doe is in our customer group. So let's create a new group, and let's call this, we'll call it VIP, and we can give this group a discount. So we want to put a number in here for the discount we want to give them. So let's say we want to give them a 5% discount. Price display method, we can choose to include or exclude the tax. Show prices, this is so the customers in the group can view the prices, and we'll keep that at checked, enabled. And we can save. Alright, so now we have a VIP group with a 5% discount. If we go back to customers and we click on John, we can actually, we can't do it here. We need to go to the edit screen. So we'll click this edit icon and go down, and we can check VIP. We can still leave them in the customer group as well, but we want to choose the default group, and we'll choose VIP. So now he's in the VIP group, and he will get a 5% discount on everything. So let's see, we can view our customer service area, which is basically the support ticket area. It'll show any messages from certain clients or certain customers that have contacted us on about anything, and we could set them to closed or pending in different statuses. Contacts, we could have one contact and just have one contact form that goes to one email address on the front end, or we can create different different contacts with different email addresses. So let's say we'll give a contact called manager, and that can be manager at lotsofgadgets.net, and we could save messages, or they can just be sent to the email address. So we'll choose to save. Description, we'll say just contact the manager, and then we can set that up to be on the front end as a special email contact. Titles, not really important, just if you want to have Mr., Miss, Doctor, or whatever, any kind of titles that you want the customers to be able to have. So what I want to do now is I want to create a new customer. You can add them from the back end. They don't have to register from the front end. So if we just want to click add new, and let's just say Steve Smith, email steve@yahoo.com. We'll give him a password, birthday, let's say he was born in 1977. We can set him to enabled or disabled. Newsletter, you want to choose if you want this user to receive your newsletters. Let's see, group access. We'll make Steve a VIP. We'll take him out of the visitor and guest group. The default group, we'll give him a VIP, so we can save that. And now we have a new customer, a new user account. So you can see this user has no messages, no addresses. So let's go ahead and see if we can give him an address. So we want to click not export. We want to click add new. And that's another thing. You can export and import Excel documents, CSV documents of all your addresses, which can be really handy. Alright, so it's customer email, Steve, identification number, I don't know, let's just put 2. Address alias, so let's do shipping address, and company, we'll say some company, address 55 Main Street, city Miami, I don't know the zip code, just make one up, state Florida, phone, mobile phone. Alright, so let's save that. So now we have Steve's address. So we can see that if we go to customers and then we click on Steve, we can now see that the address is shown up here, because what it did is it identified this is his address through the email, through his email account. Alright, so we created a new customer, created a new group. Let's actually place an order. You can place orders from the back end as well. So in orders, we want to click on add new, and let's click. So you can actually add a customer on the fly. You want to, if you don't want to create a new customer, you want to use an existing, then let's just type in Steve in the search customer and his account will pull up. So we want to click choose. Search for a product. Let's see. Let's have him buy the Dimension desktop, and that comes right up. So that's a really nice feature. You can put whatever you want here, and it'll actually search the database for the product and give you a select list. If we had another Dimensions PC, we'd have more than one selection. So let's give him that. Let's add it to his cart. So you can see everything's very smooth. Currency, we set up euros, so we could choose that if we wanted to, as well as, well, we only have one language set up, but we could have multiple languages as well. Alright, so vouchers. Vouchers is basically a coupon code, and you can choose which products you want to use it for, how much it is, but we'll look into that later on. We're not going to use a coupon code here. Delivery. Now this user we only have his shipping address, but we're just going to keep that for his invoice address as well. Actually, no, we can just create a new one here. So let's just say 3, and let's say billing address. Company was, what was it? Some company. Address. City was Miami. State. Florida. Well, let's actually just change the street address here. So let's say 44 Congress Street. Keep that. Okay, save. You must register at least one phone number. Alright. So now we should be able to choose the billing address and shipping. We have our standard shipping that we set up, $27 for this product. And we could actually choose to have free shipping if we wanted for this order. And it gives us our totals, gives us our shipping price, an order message. You can choose to send an email to the customer. And now we want to set up the payment. We'll say PayPal. And let's just say this payment is accepted. We could have it pending, but let's just do that. So create the order. Alright, so now we have a order page for Steve for his Dimension desktop. And it shows us all the info we need, the invoice, the payment. You can see it's using the standard carrier that we selected. Shows the weight of 7 pounds. So everything just runs really smooth. So that's basically all of the shipping and order management aspects of PrestaShop. You can see it just has a very smooth flow. Invoices are nice. Just everything works, and it works well. So that's it for customer management. Oh, and actually, I can point out up here, even though we created the order and the customer in the back end, we have these red ones. And if you click on it, it can actually show you a little drop down of the summary of the order, and you can view the order, which we are right now, and you'll see the one disappeared. So once you check them, the number will disappear. Alright, so I will see you in the next section. Thanks.